You might have seen my 15 free sewing patterns video that I posted 3 months ago, and I actually mentioned the Brando tee and Ren jeans in that video, and I did promise I would test some of these patterns out. So this is what this video is. I am going to be testing out the free mood patterns, and in fact I am going to sew an entire outfit using just free patterns. So the first pattern I wanted to try out were the Ren jeans, and for those I picked this green linen fabric that is actually vintage because I got that from the old stash of my mum. So first of all, I of course cut all of the pattern pieces out of my beautiful vintage fabric, and I then overlocked them. I've then sewn the darts into the back pieces and also hemmed the back pockets, as you can see here. I then attached those back pockets to my back pieces, and I also created the front pockets according to the instructions on the Mood website. It is a little confusing at first, but the result is super satisfying. You kind of just attach two pocket pieces together and then fold them over to the side pieces of the front. Now, as you can see here, you basically just align the sides, and then as you can see there, you already have got this beautiful front pocket. Now, I'm not good at explaining this because, to be fair, this is ages ago that I've sewn this. I can't remember exactly what I did, but I remember the instructions being quite good on the website, and I just followed them, and it's basically just a couple of stitches here and there and folding over the bigger pocket piece and then closing that off, as well, as you can see here. But of course, be better than me and actually iron your pattern pieces before you start sewing. Oh my god, I gotta laugh because I'm so proud of this tiny little thing. But yeah, the front pockets are now done, and it was such an intimidating thing to even think about. But it's actually quite straightforward and easy once you get started. So yeah, I'm super pleased with that. I thought that was gonna take me much longer. I'm gonna fit the front fly in now, and I hope it goes as smooth and easy as the last couple of bits went, and then we're gonna just be flying through this project. I was actually really intimidated by the front fly, and I have to say that the instructions on the Mood website didn't do enough for me, so I actually had to watch a YouTube tutorial on how to fit the front fly, and you can see me seam rip a lot of stuff here because I misunderstood some of those parts. But to be fair, it wasn't actually as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it would probably be a lot harder, but to be honest, it's doable and it's not as bad as I imagined it to be. And then I was already on to assembling the trousers, which is just the crotch and the inner and side seams, which to me is the best part. So this is kind of disappointing. I will just quickly put them on wrong sides out and just pin to make them fit better. So I will make them really nice and tight, and I do want them really tight around that area. Yeah, and then I'll just serge that all off, create the waistbands, and then get going. And so I did take them in quite drastically. They were too big, unfortunately. This is how the front fly came out. I did opt for a grey zipper instead of the black one that I fitted earlier. I kind of redid the whole thing because I wasn't too happy with it. Because I like the grey much more. I think it goes much better with the green. And I actually redid the pockets as well because I didn't iron them the first time around, so they weren't as crisp and clean as I would like them to be. So I finished that off a little nicer after seam ripping it. And now it's time for the waistband already. Now, as you can see here, the pattern is actually twice the size of what I have cut out of my fabric. I just decided that they were a little too high-waisted for me with that big waistband. So I created a much slimmer waistband and kind of just sewn that together, right sides together, and top stitched it down, as you can see here. And then I am just attaching that to the inside of my pants, right sides together, pinning it along the entire waistline of the pants and then stitching that down. In the next step, I of course fold the waistband over and roll the raw edges inside and then pin that down as well, so that this entire thing can be top stitched down and there is no raw edges showing anymore. And then lastly, I only had to hem the pants. I actually did a teeny tiny hem, as you can see here. I overlocked the bottom of the trousers and then just took the overlock stitches as guidance as to what I would pin down. I just really wanted a tiny hem so that the trousers would remain really nice and flowy. And here you can see the finished waistband. Now technically the pattern asks for a button and a buttonhole, but I, for the life of me, cannot sew a buttonhole, so I opted for hook and eye closures instead. And actually I really like the look of it because it's a little seamless and I don't know. I just like it and I'm happy with my choice. The top that I chose to go with my Ren jeans is the Brando tee that I actually misspelled and mispronounced in the original video. I am cutting it out of some beige rib knit fabric that is a little less stretchy than I expected it to be, so I actually cut the pattern to be 2 sizes too big on me, and it did end up really big, but I actually like that style. It's a very oversized sort of style, and here you can see me with the pattern pieces being happy with myself. So first of all, we close the shoulder seams, of course, as per usual. You can see in the back I've got a seam because I had to piece 2 pieces together due to the restrictions of the fabric I had left over. I then fit in the sleeves and closed the side seams, of course. Super straightforward. I then just close the neckline and then fold the neckline over in half and pin it to my top using the 4x4 sort of stretch method, where you just mark your piece in quarters and then stretch out the smaller piece to match up with the quarters of that smaller piece, which probably doesn't make sense, but I'm sure you know what I mean. And then I just overlock that entire thing and we are pretty much already done with the t-shirt. I'm not hemming the bottom, instead I'm cropping it and I'm leaving it raw just because the fabric doesn't look so good when it's double layered and hemmed. And that was already me sewing the entire outfit made of 3 patterns. Here it is. I absolutely love how they look together. I love the style of the Ren jeans. I love how they're so flowy, how they're so flared at the bottom. I really love the color and I love kind of the boxiness of the t-shirt. I think because I used quite a stiff fabric that complements each other quite well. I love how the crop hits just about where the waistband of the Ren jeans finishes. I like how the colors go together and I honestly can't believe that this was made completely with 3 patterns. Look at those trousers, they've got such a nice fit. Now I did have to take them in quite a lot. I'm not sure if they are completely true to size. I did pick what I consider to be my size, yet they did turn out a little too big on me, so I don't know, maybe they are running slightly bigger. So I would probably recommend that you start with your size and then size down from that and take it in if you have to. Because I had to take it in quite drastically though, it kind of distorts the pockets, so just be aware of that. And the Brando tee is absolutely a no-brainer. It's such a great pattern and you can choose any size that you want. You can size down for a baby tee or size up for an oversized t-shirt like I did here. And yeah, that's it. That's my completely free pattern outfit. I hope you enjoyed and thank you so much for watching.